We do begin this half hour with some breaking news and some very hard news coming out of Westport, Massachusetts. A 4-year-old boy has died in a house fire. The fire department says the flames broke out late last night at a home on Mount Pleasant Street there in Westport. Firefighters found that child in his bedroom on the second floor. 3 other people were treated for burns and smoke inhalation. The fire department says this fire happened at the same site, that exact same house, where 9 members of a family, the Audette family, were killed in a house fire back in 1952. We do have a crew heading to the scene there in Westport, and we will have a live report for you later today coming up at noon. Let's now go to Hull, Massachusetts, where a massive fire ripped through a multifamily home overnight there. Our Glenn Marshall is live for us now in Hull with details on that fire. Glenn? There's more fallout this morning from the data breach involving Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. 2 more staffers have been fired. It was last week the campaign fired its data director after finding that he improperly accessed Hillary Clinton's files in a voter database owned by the Democratic National Committee. This controversy was a hot topic during last night's debate in Manchester, New Hampshire. Chris Pallone has a recap. All right, so those are the Democrats. Let's talk Republicans right now. Jeb Bush is not letting up in his criticism of frontrunner Donald Trump. Bush campaigned in Exeter, New Hampshire Saturday. He slammed Trump for insulting women, Hispanics, people with disabilities. Bush also said Trump is, quote, not a serious man. Republicans Chris Christie, John Kasich, also Ben Carson, and Democrat Martin O'Malley. They're all scheduled to campaign in the Granite State today. Remember to check out our candidate tracker in the politics section of the NECN News app. You can follow all the candidates every single time they visit New Hampshire. In other news here today, we're following developing news overseas. The Kenya Airport Authority says a suspected explosive device has been removed from an Air France flight. The plane was headed to Paris when the pilots requested an emergency landing in Kenya. Police say the device was discovered in the plane's lavatory. All of the plane's passengers, also the crew, they were all safely evacuated. Bomb experts are now studying that device. Let's come back home here. Police in Salem, New Hampshire are trying to figure out why a tire exploded at a Sears Auto Center. That killed 1 man and injured another. Our Glenn Marshall has this story. New England news continues now in Gloucester, Massachusetts. A woman there is still missing. Police say Susan Nilsson may have been walking near the Rock Neck late Friday night or early Saturday morning. Police did find personal items belonging to her on the dock, also in the water nearby. She's 5'5", 130 pounds, with a medium build. She has green eyes. If you know anything about Nilsson's whereabouts, you do need to contact Gloucester, Massachusetts police. Around the nation right now, a tense scene at a mall in Madison, Wisconsin during one of the busiest shopping weekends of the year. Police say someone opened fire, injuring 1 man. They sent others panicked, shoppers just running everywhere for cover. It happened Saturday afternoon inside the East Town Mall. Police say a 19-year-old man was shot in the leg during this dispute. Police do say this was not an act of terrorism. The mall will be open for business today. The former CEO of a pharmaceutical company is slamming the fraud allegations against him. Martin Shkreli tweeted the allegations are baseless and have no merit. He also said he's confident he will prevail. The former hedge fund manager pleaded not guilty last week and was released on $5 million bail. He came under fire earlier this year for jacking up the price of a life-saving HIV drug by 5,000%. Well, just in time for Christmas, some good news. More than 100 members of the New Hampshire National Guard, they're coming home today. They're returning from a 9-month deployment in the Middle East. The Guardsmen are from the 197th Field Artillery Regiment. A welcome home ceremony will take place this afternoon at the Manchester Armory. Thank you all for your service and Merry Christmas. All right, coming up in our health check, getting rid of a double chin without surgery. Tune in for that. And he was part of the design team for the original Star Wars toys, and today a Rhode Island man is still going strong. Back now with your early warning weather, meteorologist Michael Page. Michael, you know what? It's been so warm lately, but you do have some snow to talk about. Finally. It has been so long coming, but we got a couple of inches. Snow in New England. I know, right? In December. Usually it would be no big deal, but this year it's like headline, okay, and the ski resorts are all happy, get everyone in the mood. Good. Justin. All right, Michael Page, thanks so much. Let's talk health check right now. There are 2 new ways to get rid of a double chin without surgery. Bianca Castro reports now from Texas. Back here to New England right now, a Rhode Island man was part of the design team that made the original Star Wars toys to tie in with the movie back then. That was more than 4 decades ago. And today he's creating the new line to go along with the release of the latest Star Wars movie. R.J. Heim has more now from Pawtucket. How cool is that? Good for him. What a neat individual. All right, let's talk some sports news right now. The Patriots and Bruins, they're both playing in action today. The Pats will be looking to clinch a playoff bye when they host Tennessee Titans today. Kickoff 1 o'clock this afternoon at Gillette. Also, the Patriots need to win and the Broncos need to lose if you're following football. Or Patriots win, Bengals lose, and the Broncos tie. Lots to go on there. Tom Brady is expected to play today, of course. And as for the Bruins, they host the New Jersey Devils this afternoon. All right, let's go to some college sports right now. The Huskies of Northeastern welcomed the top-ranked Spartans of Michigan State yesterday. The Spartans were looking to keep their perfect season alive. The 7-3 Huskies were looking for their second win in a row, but the Spartans, they were just too much. Michigan State improves to 12-0. Get this score, 78-58. It was a win there. Northeastern hosts Vermont coming up on Tuesday. In the next few weeks, a lot of people in Boston, they're going to be ringing in the holidays, probably with a few drinks. But a new survey finds a lot of those pink people will actually be drinking and then getting behind the wheel, and of course they shouldn't do that. Here's our consumer reporter, Leslie Gatiss.
This is NECN This Morning.
This half hour on NECN, apology accepted. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton try to move on from a recent data breach controversy. Also coming up, Boston police identify the victim of the latest murder in the city's Roxbury neighborhood. And looking for some last-minute stocking stuffers? Well, we have some high-tech ideas for you. Tune in for that. A very good morning to you, New England. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to talk all that news in just a minute, but we do want to talk about your forecast. Important week coming up with Christmas. Michael Page, it's cold today. It's not going to stay.
No, it certainly isn't, Justin.
Let's go to Worcester, Massachusetts now. Delivery drivers there are keeping an extra eye out right now after 6 reported armed robberies this month on drivers. Our Alicia Rodriguez has this story. The news stays in Massachusetts right now. Boston, in fact. Police say a teenager was the victim of Friday's deadly shooting in Roxbury. The victim was identified as 17-year-old DeAndre King Settles. He died at the scene. The shooting happened in the area of Annunciation Road, and that's near police department headquarters. Police are asking for the public's help in tracking down whoever is responsible. Boston Mayor Marty Walsh is pleased that the owner of a popular Boston bar they're taking action right now in the wake of a fatal shooting. The Boston Globe reports the owners of Who's On First told the city's licensing board they'll be purchasing ID scanners, also additional security cameras. The mayor says it's the right move, and he hopes other bars will follow suit.
It's great that
So the bar's owners say during promoted events they'll bring in additional security, also use metal detectors and check patrons for weapons when they enter that bar. And this week, we expect to learn the fate of Steven Silva. He's the man police say loaned the gun to Jahar Tsarnaev to kill MIT police officer Sean Collier. Silva testified that he let Jahar borrow a handgun 2 months before the Boston Marathon attacks. He says Jahar told him his plans were to rob URI students. Silva is expected to be sentenced Tuesday. Tsarnaev right now is appealing his death sentence for the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings. Well, the holiday season inspires many people to give, but you need to make sure you know who you're giving to. Our consumer reporter, Leslie Gatiss, takes a look at what to watch out for. All right, let's talk early morning weather right now with meteorologist Michael Page. Michael, you know what? It's cold today. You know, it feels like what tomorrow's supposed to feel like.
Exactly.
Winter.
Tomorrow being the first day of winter.
Can you believe 61 degrees on Christmas
Second year in a row.
Oh my. All right, Michael Page, thank you so much. Now to the story of a Rhode Island native, a practicing dentist and accomplished scholar who could spend hours telling tales and jokes. He has a thirst for knowledge, and get this, at the age of 92, he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Our Steve Avison takes us to the college that's giving this man another opportunity to learn. Our friends over at Telemundo Boston, they're getting into the holiday spirit. They went to a toy drive. They gift wrapped toys for the Entre Familias shelter in Boston's Mattapan neighborhood. Now that shelter, what they do is provide substance abuse treatment to Latina women and their children. The Christmas spirit is alive and well in Boston, where the world's longest running production of Black Nativity is now playing on stage. The final performance is this afternoon. In today's center stage, our LaToya Edwards takes us to this holiday tradition. So have you ever been showering and thought to yourself, hey, be kind of neat to have some color in here? Well, coming up next, we're going to give you the opportunity. Leslie's checking out the shower wow. Big question, though. Does it work? Stay tuned. All right, so we all get up early. I think we can agree on that. And maybe a dynamic difference in the shower could get things rolling a little better. It's called the Shower Wow. It's supposed to take the experience of showering from boring to exhilarating. But does it work? Here's our consumer reporter, Leslie Gatiss. Are you going to get it? Are you going to get it?
Funny.
You're buying it. I know you are.
I love the club atmosphere.
All right, thanks for joining us this hour. I'm Justin Michaels.
And I'm meteorologist Michael Page. You're watching NECN, New England's news station.